Every minute of your life is a piece of priceless treasure. Most people treat it as if it were ordinary, something that can be postponed, ignored, or wasted. They say they will enjoy life someday when they earn more money, someday when problems disappear, someday when everything finally becomes perfect. But someday is a place that never arrives. Life is happening now, in this very moment. Think about how often people rush through their days. They wake up already worried about tomorrow. They walk through their work thinking about the weekend. When the weekend arrives, they begin worrying about Monday. In this constant race, something very important slips quietly through their fingers: the experience of living. The truth is simple. Happiness is not waiting at the end of some long road. It is something that must be discovered in the step you are taking right now. Your mind is the most powerful instrument you possess. It can turn an ordinary moment into something rich and meaningful, or it can turn a beautiful day into a burden. The difference lies in what you choose to focus on. When a person trains the mind to notice what is good, what is possible, what is valuable in each moment, life begins to change in remarkable ways. The same world exists, the same challenges remain, yet everything feels different. A simple conversation becomes valuable. A quiet walk becomes refreshing. Even work begins to feel like progress instead of pressure. The present moment is the only time that truly belongs to us. The past has already slipped away and cannot be changed, no matter how much we replay it in our minds. The future has not yet arrived and exists only as an idea shaped by our expectations, hopes, and fears. Yet many people spend most of their lives mentally traveling between these two places, missing the one moment where life is actually happening. Think about how often the mind drifts backward into memories of mistakes, regrets, or things that should have been done differently. A person may replay a conversation from years ago, wishing they had spoken different words. They may carry guilt or frustration about something that can no longer be altered. While this mental habit feels real, it offers no power to change what has already happened. The past can teach lessons, but it cannot be relived or repaired through worry. At the same time, many people place their happiness in the future. They tell themselves they will finally relax once they achieve a certain goal, earn more money, or reach a particular stage in life. They imagine a future moment when everything will finally come together. The problem with this way of thinking is that the future constantly moves forward. When one goal is reached, another appears, and the mind continues to postpone satisfaction. Life quietly unfolds in the present moment while attention remains somewhere else. The present moment is where decisions are made. It is where thoughts are formed, actions are taken, and experiences are felt. Every meaningful change begins in this small window of time called now. A person cannot take action yesterday, and they cannot act tomorrow. Action is always taken in the present. When someone learns to focus their awareness on the moment they are living, life begins to feel more vivid and more meaningful. Small details become noticeable. Conversations become more genuine. Work becomes more engaging because attention is no longer divided between countless distractions. This awareness also brings a sense of calm. When the mind stops carrying the weight of yesterday and the anxiety of tomorrow, it becomes lighter. Many worries lose their strength when examined in the present moment, because most fears exist only as imagined scenarios rather than immediate realities. Living in the present does not mean ignoring the lessons of the past or neglecting plans for the future. It means understanding that both memory and planning must happen within the present moment. The only place where learning, improvement, creativity, and progress can occur is right now. Every experience, every opportunity, every relationship unfolds minute by minute in the present. When attention is fully placed there, time begins to feel richer, more purposeful, and more alive. Many people believe happiness is something that will arrive later in life. They imagine it as a reward waiting at the end of a long journey of effort, struggle, and sacrifice. They tell themselves that once they achieve a certain goal, gain recognition, or solve all their problems, happiness will finally appear. This belief quietly places joy somewhere in the distant future, making it feel like something that must be earned rather than something that can be chosen. In reality, happiness begins with a decision. It is not controlled entirely by circumstances, possessions, or achievements. While these things may influence comfort and convenience, they do not automatically create a lasting sense of fulfillment. There are countless examples of people who appear to have everything yet remain dissatisfied, and others who possess very little but experience genuine contentment in their daily lives. The difference often lies in how a person chooses to interpret and respond to their experiences. Every day presents situations that can be viewed in multiple ways. One person may see obstacles and feel discouraged, while another sees the same obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger. One person may focus on what is missing in their life, while another focuses on what is already present and valuable. The external circumstances may be similar, but the internal decision about how to respond creates entirely different emotional outcomes. The human mind has a natural tendency to search for problems and imperfections. This habit developed as a survival mechanism, helping people stay alert to danger. However, when this pattern dominates everyday thinking, it can lead to constant dissatisfaction. A person may overlook progress, ignore positive moments, and magnify small frustrations until they seem overwhelming. Choosing happiness does not mean pretending that difficulties do not exist. Challenges are a natural part of life, and every individual faces them in different forms. The decision to be happy means refusing to allow those challenges to define every moment of experience. It means recognizing that while problems may appear, they do not have to control one's state of mind. This decision begins with awareness. A person starts noticing their thoughts and the direction those thoughts are taking. When the mind begins moving toward negativity or unnecessary worry, it becomes possible to redirect attention toward something constructive. This may involve appreciating small achievements, focusing on solutions rather than complaints, or recognizing the value in simple daily experiences. Happiness grows stronger through repeated choices. Each time a person chooses gratitude instead of resentment, possibility instead of fear, or appreciation instead of comparison, they strengthen a mental habit that gradually shapes their outlook on life. Over time, this habit transforms the way life is experienced. The same situations that once created stress or disappointment begin to feel more manageable. Energy increases, relationships improve, and a deeper sense of peace begins to develop, not because the world has suddenly become perfect, but because the decision to experience happiness has become part of everyday thinking. Gratitude has the quiet power to transform the way a person experiences life. Many people move through their days focusing on what is missing, what went wrong, or what they wish they had instead. The mind naturally compares, measures, and searches for improvement, but when this habit becomes constant, it slowly drains the enjoyment from ordinary moments. Gratitude works in the opposite direction by training the mind to recognize value in what already exists. Every day is filled with small experiences that are easily overlooked. A calm morning, a supportive conversation, the comfort of a familiar place, or the simple ability to pursue a goal are things many people pass by without noticing. When these moments go unrecognized, life begins to feel routine and unremarkable. Gratitude brings attention back to these experiences and reveals how meaningful they truly are. The remarkable thing about gratitude is that it does not require dramatic changes in life circumstances. It begins with awareness. When a person pauses long enough to acknowledge something positive, even something small, the mind begins to shift away from constant dissatisfaction. Instead of searching only for problems, it starts to notice opportunities, kindness, and progress. This change in focus influences emotional well-being in powerful ways. When the mind regularly recognizes what is good, feelings of appreciation begin to replace feelings of frustration and scarcity. The same environment that once seemed ordinary starts to feel richer and more supportive. A person becomes less focused on what others possess and more aware of what they themselves already have. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. When people express appreciation for others, it creates a sense of connection and mutual respect. A simple acknowledgement of someone's effort or kindness can deepen trust and bring warmth into everyday interactions. In contrast, when appreciation is rarely expressed, relationships may begin to feel distant or taken for granted. Another important effect of gratitude is how it changes a person's outlook during difficult moments. Life will always present challenges, setbacks, and unexpected obstacles. When someone has developed the habit of gratitude, these difficulties do not erase their awareness of what remains positive. They may still face problems, but they maintain the ability to see strength, support, and possibility around them. Gratitude does not ignore hardship, it balances it. It reminds the mind that even in challenging times, there are still aspects of life worth appreciating. This balanced perspective prevents problems from dominating every thought. As gratitude becomes part of daily thinking, ordinary moments begin to carry deeper meaning. A routine task may feel more purposeful. Time spent with others may feel more valuable. Progress toward a goal may feel more satisfying because it is recognized rather than overlooked. Through this simple but powerful shift in awareness, the everyday experiences that once seemed ordinary begin to reveal their quiet richness. Worry about the future is one of the most common habits of the human mind. People often spend large portions of their day imagining situations that have not happened and may never happen. The mind creates pictures of possible problems, unexpected failures, or outcomes that seem uncertain. While thinking about the future can help a person prepare and plan, constant worry does something very different. It takes the energy and attention that belong to the present moment and carries them into a world of imagined events. When someone becomes trapped in this habit, the mind begins to live ahead of time. Instead of experiencing the day that is unfolding, the person mentally jumps into tomorrow, next week, or even years ahead. They begin to feel stress about situations that do not yet exist. As a result, the present moment becomes overshadowed by anxiety. The strange thing about worry is that it rarely improves the future. In most cases, it simply repeats the same fearful thoughts again and again without creating solutions. A person may spend hours thinking about what could go wrong, yet very little constructive action takes place during that time. The mind feels busy, but progress remains limited. Meanwhile, the present moment continues to pass. Every minute spent worrying about distant possibilities is a minute that cannot be fully experienced. Conversations lose their depth because attention is divided. Work feels heavier because the mind is carrying imagined problems alongside real responsibilities. Even moments meant for rest or enjoyment become filled with unnecessary tension. The future is shaped by the actions taken today, not by the worries imagined today. When a person redirects their attention back to the present moment, they regain the ability to act, think clearly, and make meaningful progress. Instead of fearing what might happen, they begin focusing on what can be done now. This shift in thinking creates a sense of control. The mind stops chasing endless what-if questions and begins concentrating on real steps that move life forward. Preparation becomes practical rather than emotional. Plans can still be made, goals can still be set, but they are approached calmly instead of with constant anxiety. Another important realization is that most of the things people worry about never occur in the way they imagine. The human mind tends to exaggerate risk and difficulty, often creating scenarios far worse than reality. By the time the future arrives, many feared situations either disappear completely or become manageable challenges rather than overwhelming disasters. When a person releases unnecessary worry, the present moment becomes lighter and more open. The mind becomes more attentive to opportunities, solutions, and experiences happening right now. Energy that was once consumed by imagined fears becomes available for creativity, productivity, and genuine enjoyment of life's unfolding moments. Purpose is one of the most powerful forces that gives meaning to each minute of life. Without a sense of direction, time can feel empty and repetitive. A person may move through the day completing tasks, responding to situations, and filling hours with activity, yet still feel as if something important is missing. Purpose changes the way time is experienced because it connects everyday actions to something larger and more meaningful. When a person understands why they are doing something, even simple tasks begin to carry weight and importance. Work is no longer just a routine obligation, it becomes a step toward a goal. Effort feels worthwhile because it contributes to progress.